out antiquing, and I knew I had this project that kind of is an ongoing project. It sits on the back burner until I bump into the right thing. And this is an IKEA dresser that we bought 3 years ago when we first moved in, out of an act of desperation to get storage in the bathroom. These are the knobs that came from IKEA, and these are the knobs that we just bought whenever we were out at an antique store. I bumped into 10 of these and they were $1 a piece. So this little dresser is going to get new knobs and a quick makeover. I always have about maybe 10 projects kicking around the house that just need little details to finish them off. This dresser is a great example. I needed 10 knobs, and you know what it's like. You go out antiquing and you get there and you're like, do I need 8 knobs or 10 knobs, or how many did I need? So what I do is I use my phone, the Notes app, and as projects come up, I just put them in the Notes app, and I can always reference it if I'm at an antique place or a yard sale really, really quickly, and then buy it, of course. These are really easy to switch out. It's just one screw in the knob. Before you go to the store, make sure that you note how many screws are in your piece of furniture, and if there's 2 screws, how far apart they are. Make sure you measure. There you go. Last week we went to the Trade Secrets garden show, and this week we are inspired to work on our own garden because those gardens on the garden show were off the chain, and we got to get to work around here.
Most of them were probably flower gardens, but we want to hit up our vegetable garden. We decided to start a giant vegetable garden last year. Well, it's actually not so giant, but
it's giant to us.
It felt giant. Like we thought it was enormous, and our neighbors kind of laughed at us. But
they're like, "What are this, city people doing?" We thought it was big because we had more than 4 things planted in it. So this year we are looking at it from a different point of view, and we're going to keep going on it and see if we can't conquer this vegetable garden thing.
Yeah, every year that you work on the garden, whether it's your flower garden or vegetable garden, every year helps condition the soil, makes it a little better. You'll learn a ton. You find out, is it worth growing my own vegetables, or just going to the grocery store and getting your vegetables? But yeah, it's growing your own vegetables for sure.
Yeah.
And in the Northeast here, we have a lot of really tough clay soil, which we didn't know the first year. So a lot of plants either grew up and then kind of out, or they just kind of died off. So we've got some solutions this year that are going to help us out.
Yeah. And I think it'll be really fun to watch it grow all summer. What we do now is going to impact, our yields and our crop. It's not like we're real farmers or anything, but we're trying.
And I want pole beans. Pole beans this year.
Yeah.
Not bush beans, pole beans.
That's what we learned. Pole beans yield more than bush beans. Yeah.
There are a few signs of life in the garden this year. The green onions popped back up, and we had some strawberry plants that kind of rerouted themselves and moved along. And then we had the glorious rhubarb plant that Susan planted. She loves rhubarb. I'm still on the fence a bit. But before we get to work, let's go have some fun and let's go pick out some plants. We're going to head around to the Black Dirt region in New York and try to pick up some great vegetables for this year. We decided not to go from seed just because honestly we didn't have the time. So we wanted to buy something that was a little bit established just to at least give us a good start this year. The frost season here happens kind of late, so there's a lot of these greenhouses around and they've already been growing for a while. You know that the vegetables are established and it's just going to give us a little bit of a better start. After we finished scouring the Black Dirt region, we headed over to Warwick, New York to visit our favorite place called Pennings. It's a farm market, beer garden, best fish and chips. Need I say more? Since we were out in the Black Dirt region, we said, why are we not getting some of this amazing soil to help everything grow around us? So we ordered 2 big bags, and we had one delivered by the garden and one delivered in the front of the house. This way we can use it all over the property. But now let's tackle some weeds. Our neighbor Wayne has loaned us this most amazing tool you will ever see. I don't know the real name for it. It's kind of like a double-edged hoe weeder, and you push and pull it back. And I've seen stirrup versions of this that have one blade. It's got to be the two blades and nice solid construction. It's been an exhausting week. We put a lot into the garden. It rained. It was a little bit of sunny, back and forth, and we didn't get a chance to finish it yet. But our neighbor is going to come over, and we're going to borrow his rototiller, and we're going to rototill the garden so we can get those plants in very soon.
Yeah.
So in the next day or two, we're going to whip that out, put some plants in, and then we're going to be growing.
That's right. We do have a very, very late frost here. So even the stuff that we bought this past week, we had to bring in for 2 nights because our frost is so late. So I think that if you look at where we live in the Hudson Valley, we also live in a bit of a cold spot in our local area. We have to play it safe when it comes to the frost and only put stuff outside that's not going to die.
Yeah, because we want those tomatoes this year.
That's right. But this week is the week to get outside.
Yeah, so come back next week and we're going to finish planting this garden and you can see if we succeeded.
Yeah, we'll know in a few months if we did a good job.
All right.